You know what? Let me restart that. Let me restart that whole thing. Okay.
Hold on. Is there somebody with a leaf blower outside? It is the morning. Hold on. Let me close my
technically it's noon. Technically.
It's the morning. It's the middle of the night.
Oh man.
Yeah, what the I'm recording. Alright. Don't they know I'm a content creator?
What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back again here on PlayStation Source. This is, of course, Save Slot Podcast, the weekly news show about any and all things PS5, PlayStation games, and PlayStation itself. Over here on episode 8. What the hell is episode 5? Episode 8. With me, of course, my luxurious co-host, the ArachKnight. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, I have a fancy blue, I forgot what the model is called, but I have their fancy like boom arm from Blue Yeti, you know, like Yeti microphones and all that. And I've never properly balanced it for the mic that I have, the Yeti X, until this week. And ArachKnight, I gotta tell you, it's a world of a difference. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Like I always liked this boom arm, but it always like drifted up. You know what I'm saying? So there were just certain like ways that I couldn't sit at my desk because the mic had to be near me, right? And I felt like I was always fighting the boom arm from its uphill trajectory, if you will. But I've since balanced it properly. I had to get a screwdriver like a man, you know, which I did not have a screwdriver, you know, so had to do that. But yeah, now it's great. I'm like leaning back in my chair a little bit more, you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised like that it took you this long. Like I did that as soon as I got my arm, and it's super comfortable.
You see, your boy's an idiot. All right, that's what happened. Okay, I did not know that like there was this bottom screw on the bottom of the thing that you had to loosen up to loosen the tension in the tubing or whatever. Just listen, man. I thought it was kind of like a plug and play, kind of just, you know, put it in there. It's gonna work, but it is cloudy outside.
It is cloudy.
That's cool.
Outside.
That's cool. You know, we got a little rain last night. You know, we love to see that. Absolutely. You know, on our Save Slot weather. Of course, we gotta cover the weather every time at least. You know, Save Slot. You know, just
a little bit.
Do a little weather report, if you will. But you can catch the show here on youtube.com/PlayStation Source, as well as podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, etc. via our anchor link in the description. And of course, you can like the video and or rate the podcast to help us get seen by more viewers, so we can grow the PSS family. And I'm doing it, ArachKnight. I'm doing it. I'm checking the Apple Podcast feed. Let's see what we got. You know, see what we got. No, nothing. Okay. You got time to check Spotify really quick?
Already looking at it. We got a whole lot of not much.
Okay. Oh, that's quite interesting. I'm gonna have to start paying these homies. I don't know. I'm gonna like, if I have to make a fake account to roast myself, it's questionable. You know. Ethical is an interesting word to bring in, you know. I prefer questionable. You know what I'm saying? But down below, you can let us know what you like or dislike about the show, and connect with us further on Twitter and Discord in the description. As well as if you're feeling generous, feel free to hit that join button to become a member of the channel with that $1 Prince tier and our $5 King tier as well. And of course, you can check out the stream series throughout the week. If you something dropped on my feed. What? It's like a metal bar. What the flip is that? Okay, we're gonna prop you up against the wall. Okay. Where was I? Yep. Stream series throughout the week if you missed it. We started Ratchet and Clank 2016. I will get to that, and we finished Metal Gear Solid 2, which I'm definitely going to discuss as well. But before I do that, ArachKnight, what have you been playing?
I played a lot of Persona 5 Strikers.
Okay. So you're continuing that. How's that going?
It's good. I already finished it. Like my internet's been kind of on the fritz lately. like only at night. So we're chilling right now, but so there were a few nights where it just went down. It's like, you know what? I'll just play some Persona. So I pretty much cleared that out in about a week.
Is it like a really long game?
It usually takes people like 30 to 40 hours, I think.
Okay.
That's how long it took me. I played and already finished Dragon Age 1 and 2, like I mentioned last week.
Beautiful.
Played some Jedi Fallen Order, posted some screenshots of that.
Yo, you got some fire screenshots. Like gorgeous, you know. And I replied to one of them like, man, I've been itching to get back to that game. You know, I'm not gonna do it yet, you know. And it did get a PS5 update as well, so it's got 60 frames on it. It's looking fantastic. Is this like the second time you played it, or like?
Yeah, this is my second playthrough.
Okay. Liking it more or less? Any other thoughts on that game? Coming back to it.
It's definitely a lot easier than I remember. I remember I really struggled with pairing and all that when I played it back in 2019. But when I played it the second time, I was like, this should kind of baby mode. And I was still playing it on Grandmaster, so. But ultimately, I did turn down the difficulty because I am playing this mostly just because I enjoy the photo mode.
Yeah.
I enjoy the story in the photo mode, so it's like, why do I really need to sit here and hack at something for 5 times as long?
Fair point.
Yeah, it's like, I already proved to myself I could do Grandmaster. I don't really need to sweat it. So I just turned it down to story mode, and I'm enjoying the environments and the story, and just taking a few shots here and there. And yeah, no, like I'm very proud of some of the pictures I've taken in that game.
You'll love to see it.
I think they're among some of my best.
I'm excited for that sequel, man. Like, I hope we get some news this year, you know, about what, like, wherever we go from where we left off from the first Jedi Fallen Order, you know. I would like to see it. I suspect I wouldn't rule out a fall 2022 release, to be completely honest with you.
3 years seems like fair development time.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like, I wouldn't rule it out, you know? And I mean, like, if they, you know, carry over most of the gameplay, like, it's already done, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. So, I would like to see it as soon as possible. But what else have you... Is there anything else you've been playing besides Fallen Order, Dragon Age, Persona Trackers?
Persona 4. And
I saw that on Discord. You're playing a little Persona 4 Golden. Okay, I see you. One of the best Vita games out. Okay.
It really just reaffirmed how much I don't like turn-based games. Like, the story is great so far. I'm really enjoying the story. Like,
is this your first time playing?
Yeah, it is my very first time playing Persona 4.
Okay. Where are you at? Like, I guess...
just finished the second palace.
Okay, I've only done the first palace. So I've done the first palace, saved homegirl, I forgot her name, but saved her.
Oh, yeah, never mind. That first palace.
Oh,
very early in. Yukiko.
Yeah. I saved her, and then not my little sister, but I guess my niece. I think. Yeah, the little girl, but like, is she my cousin?
She is your cousin.
She's my cousin, yeah, because the uncle is the detective or whatever. Yeah, we're all supposed to go on like a trip or something like that, like a little vacation for a little bit, and that's where I left off on Persona 4. It's still on my Vita, chilling. I don't know you know what? If you're gonna keep going, I could make time for it this week, and we could talk a little about it if you want.
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's the story and the characters are all like great. I loved Persona 5, so I figured I might as well play the games that came before it. And it really just reaffirmed how much I don't like turn-based games.
Yeah.
Because I put the difficulty in like baby mode, like very easy, and just whenever there's a fight, I'll just rush through it. Like, there's a button called Rush where the battle just plays itself, and I just do that. And since it's on baby mode, I don't really need to worry about my health. It's like, okay. So, the battles are rushed through, the enemies have like 10 health, like they're really easy to kill, and then you just keep going, which is fine by me. That's what I did with Final Fantasy VII, is I turned off random encounters, and I just had Cloud's Limit on all the time. So as soon as there was a fight, just blaze through it.
Random encounters stayed off in FF7. I can't even comprehend, like, in 97 playing that game, just the version 1.0, like, without any of those extras. Like, dude, because you get in a random encounter legitimately every, like, at least a minute. Like, every minute you get stopped, and it's a battle.
Have you heard of the story of the people who wanted to get to max level by only staying in reactor, the first Mako reactor? They just farmed encounters to get to level 99 in the first Mako reactor.
Oh my god.
I think
that had to have taken them weeks.
It took them months.
Months?
Of playing every day. I think they said it took them like it's been a while since I watched the video, but I think it took them like at least like 300 hours.
I mean, at least the rest of the game is gonna be a breeze, but like, damn, like, bro, that's a lot. Yeah, could not be me, bro. Could not be me. You know what? If you keep playing Persona 4, I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna pick it up this week, and I'll kind of do this journey with you, if you will, you know. But I think I might turn it down to that baby mode, honestly, because, like, I got the gist of the combat, right? Like, I get it, you know, like, yeah. I understand, right? Like, I really doubt that they're gonna introduce anything really substantial that's gonna change the gameplay, right? So, and I am just in it for the story, right? Like, I do want to solve this mystery. It is a cool story, though. It is very cool. It's a neat predicament, if you will, you know. So definitely. Playing anything else, or is that just about it?
That's about it.
All right. Where do I want to start? Let's start with Ratchet and Clank. So we're on the last game in the Ratchet and Clank stream series, Ratchet and Clank 2016. Okay, this is the movie. That's a game. That's a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird game, man. Like, obviously, I recommend everyone play it. It's free right now on PlayStation. Check it out. PS Store, Play at Home Initiative, all that great stuff. Like, it is objectively a good gameplay game, right? And it still is very much Ratchet and Clank. I'm actually not bothered by these controls that they have here, because, like, they have it on L2 R2 to shoot, as opposed to just holding down circle to shoot in, like, the older games. And while I think I would kind of want to still play in those classic controls, like, if Rift Apart has those, you know, old style controls, I'm probably going to use that. But I don't mind it here in this game overall, like how they've mapped the controls. I don't mind it. This story is definitely watered down from the original game, right? And, like, I think that it'd be wise of you, and probably better for me, right, like, removing the comparisons of the first Ratchet and Clank game, you know, even though, like, it is kind of a remake, but it's really not, because it's not even close to one-to-one, right? Like, it's less one-to-one than, like, FF7 remake, right? Where, like, FF7, it is close. It's closer to the original part of Final Fantasy VII, right, than Ratchet 2016 is closer to the first Ratchet, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, like, I'm still enjoying it, you know? It's still Ratchet and Clank. It looks beautiful. It's 30 frames, though, so wish was 60, but, you know, it is what it is. So overall, good things there. And you guys are listening to this on Sunday, so on Tuesday nights we'll be beating the game. We're gonna put it down. We're gonna end the Ratchet and Clank series right there, And then on Thursday, we'll be starting Resistance. So very excited for that. But let's talk a little bit about Final Fantasy 15, ArachKnight. I feel like I'm in the meat of the game. Like I'm really into the I'm like in the world, right? I'm not really on like some training or anything like that. Like I feel like I'm in this bitch, okay? This game is fucking awesome, man. like this game is awesome, bro. So I did mention last week that I was a little bit underwhelmed by like just having fire, ice, and lightning as my 3 elements. What I failed to realize was that on the bottom, right? So you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the 4 different areas of that menu, elemency. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that bottom one, I didn't realize that those were for items. So you get these items in the world that you can combine with the elements to make stronger versions of the elemental attacks, you know? And sometimes they do like other stuff, and you know, rather than just a ×3 when you craft, it can be like a ×5 or a ×8, and you get more use out of it by putting more resources into it. Like I didn't realize that whole system, but I like it a lot. like now I'm like, oh, okay, like this is what I'm looking for. Like this is it right here, you know. The story is progressing in very interesting ways, you know what I'm saying? But I think you know, ultimately this is gonna be a long game I'm playing, right? So like, you know, I'm not gonna have like a long monologue every week, but I do want to end off with ArachKnight. I did clip out on Twitter the first time you do a summon in FF15. Literally chills. I swear, bro. I summoned Ramu and this motherfucker, bro. Like the way they animated that like scene of your summon is fucking beautiful. Like goddamn, bro. This game is hitting. They went all the fuck out, bro. It looks incredible. Now I am a little bit worried because that's the only time I've been able to summon. So if summons are just designated towards like specific scenes in the game, right, and it's not really a part of your gameplay, I'm gonna be a little bit you know, let down by that. But I'm hoping that they give me the ability to summon whenever I fill up a bar or whatever the hell, you know.
Right.
Which I'm not sure if that's the case, but I hope so, at least. I hope so. And lastly here, I don't know how to even discuss this game. I beat Metal Gear Solid 2, ArachKnight.
Yeah, it kind of fucked you up, didn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Like I don't even know how to talk about it right now, to be honest with you. Of course, Long Play Club is going up on Monday, which is tomorrow from when you guys are listening. youtube.com/joyclicks. Check out that. We talked about it there. But have you played MGS2?
I've watched bits and pieces, but I know I kind of know where you're coming from with how it affected you.
It is one of the most like unsettling games to play in 2021. You know, like I really implore everyone to, hey, like listen, if you've been paying any shred of attention to like what's been going on in the world, right? Just like from like a general standpoint, right? You need to play this game. Like this game is scary at how it was able to pseudo like foretell the life that we'll be living post 2000, you know, and going into the era of like just widespread information, you know, and how that is used in negative ways and positive ways, in manipulative ways, just how information is used in the modern day. It is fucking wild, bro. And like, yeah, I mean, I really don't even know what else to say. Like, I enjoyed it. That stream, like, I had a similar feeling like after beating part 2 of like, okay, like this is this almost transcends being just a video game. And I think MGS2 does it in more ways than Part 2. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, MGS2 is crazy. We're going on to MGS3 on Wednesday. So very, very excited for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All I've been playing. Now I did forget to fill out the in case you missed it, so I'm gonna quickly open up the channel here. So we'll see what we got here. Oh, mainly only two things. So other than the streams for Metal Gear Solid and Ratchet and Clank, we did do a PSVR 2 video. Check out that. You know, we talked about the new patent and all that great stuff. Also, I couldn't resist. I did a Yuffie video. So I'm talking a little bit about like what is Yuffie's role going to be in Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. How are the Whisperers going to like, you know, affect her and everything. And I do have an announcement, ArachKnight. I do have an announcement. So as you know, at the end of the Intergrade trailer, there was some little bits and pieces of this game called Dirge of Cerberus. Are you aware of this game?
Yes.
Okay. For those that are unaware, it stars Vincent Valentine, another optional character in FF7, and Yuffie's in it as well. And given that Yuffie's episode is coming out in the summer, there is some Dirge of Cerberus lore in that. So I did the crazy thing, okay? Honestly, not that crazy, but I bought a PS2 HDMI converter, a PS2 memory card, and a copy of Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII, and I'm gonna play that shit before the Yuffie episode. You know, listen, I need the full experience. Okay,
you
like
want all the lore.
I need all the lore. I need all the lore. Okay, like I'm not gonna just result to just watching like I know a little bit about the Dirge story, but I want to experience that thing, and what better way than to actually play it? So, I got the PS2 Slim out, and we're gonna do it. And technically, I think I could stream it. I'm not gonna stream it. I don't think I'm gonna do it, but I think I could with this HDMI adapter. So,
hypothetically,
yeah. I want to see if I like. I'm gonna test it. I think just to see if I can. I'm pretty sure I can. I don't see why not. But yeah, so I'm gonna be playing through that. Excited to physically use a PS2 in probably shit. It's probably been like a good 12 years, maybe more than that, since I've like actually like played a game on the PlayStation 2 physically. So it's gonna be interesting. And of course, ArachKnight's favorite segment, ArachKnight PS5 watch. PS5. ArachKnight, how do we do this week? How do we do?
Same as last week. Probably the same as next week. Bad.
I got into like 2 PS Direct queues, man.
I saw.
And like the word on the street is that the most consistent place to secure a PS5 to the average consumer has been PlayStation Direct, right? That has not been the case for your boy. Every time I went into a queue, it would you know, be like 10 minutes before the queue opens. As soon as it opens, more than an hour, just like you said. It's crazy, man.
I'm cursed.
Like we're gonna get you a PS5, ArachKnight. Like it is one of my, honestly at this point, one of my dying wishes, to be completely honest with you. You know,
I'm honored.
But in case you know, you wanna gamble, you know what I'm saying, ArachKnight, if you wanna like do a lottery system, Curry's PC World has changed up their whole way to securing a PS5 for them. It is going to be in a lottery system. So this is of course on Push Square, link below in the description. In an attempt to end that, end the overall main scalpers, all that great stuff. I mean, all that like horrible shit, whatever. Curry's PC World has launched a lottery system which will see customers selected at random and awarded the opportunity to buy a next-gen console. All you need to do is sign up for Curry's Priority Pass via the store's website and then hope for the best. You'll be contacted if you've won the opportunity to purchase a platform and will then have 72 hours to follow through. Do I do this? Is this the route? How do you feel about lottery systems in terms of buying a console?
You gotta do what you gotta do in this day and age, but my luck is awful. So, like, you know how you can, in some games, like, you can, like, put, like, assign points? It's like, you know, like in Fallout, you got strength, perception, endurance,
yes,
charisma, all that. Yeah, luck for me, strong 1.
You see, it's like you dumped all your points, ArachKnight, into like, you know, pro gamer, you know.
Yeah,
and
like,
you forgot the luck. You know?
No, I min-maxed.
I see. Well, I feel like I think I might do it. Because, like, I mean, bro, who knows, man? Like, fate, you know? Maybe, like, an FF7 Whisper might, you know, be summoned to the random generator and, you know, and may sway it in my favor. Who knows? You know? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Let's see.
However,
No
link below... Wait, what?
Oh, I was saying is there's no harm in trying in the lottery, sorry.
Yeah, true. I might do it. We'll see. But I actually implore you to open this right now, ArachKnight. Someone down below created a JavaScript code where they recreated the PS5's UI. So, in case you want to roleplay, alright? Look, man.
No.
I have an extra DualSense. You know, I could send that to you. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can mess with this JavaScript here of the PS5's UI. Like, it's not super detailed, but I will say it's a pretty good representation of the full thing, and it's free. You know what I'm saying? So.
That sounds depressing. Cause like, what if I love it and then it's just gone?
Oh man. It is a cool thing though. Like, it does run pretty neat, and I think it's pretty cool, honestly. From someone that has done like very, very little coding in my life, it is pretty cool to see that someone made that, you know. And they show on the website the actual code for this JavaScript, so you can actually read how they built it, which is pretty cool as well. So
it's always impressive to see what people can conjure up with just lines of information.
Ones and zeros, you know, ones and zeros. I'm trying to remember like some of the coding terms I remember from school, like
Well, it depends on the language. You said JavaScript, right?
Yeah, I didn't learn Java, but like, you know how like a lot of them just have like similar ways of doing things, but just different terminology, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of sort of understanding the JavaScript and like what they were doing, because I mainly learned I mean, HTML is like pretty basic and like pretty easy, but like I learned a little bit of Swift, the Apple specific one. I learned that mainly, a little bit of HTML, you know, nothing too crazy. So, and I mean, struggled my ass off, but like, yeah, like, not fluent at all. But some positive news though. I wanted to throw this in there just for you, my boy. It's not a PS5. However, on March 15th, oh shit, that's Monday. Fuck, that's tomorrow. You get a little taste of the next DLC for Doom Eternal. You know what I'm saying, ArachKnight? Like, hey, that's a positive, you know?
That is a positive.
You know what I'm saying?
Which
so we get
ties into our main story pretty well.
Huh?
Which, which ties into our main story because Doom is a Bethesda property.
It does. You're absolutely right. Yeah, and definitely those comments that we'll get to later on seem to indicate that Doom Eternal content will still come to PlayStation platforms. So at least Doom Eternal lives on the PS5 and PS4 ecosystem. So I did want to ask you, like, you know, you played the first part of the DLC, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And is there going to be just 2 parts, or have they said how many parts there's going to be?
From what I can assume, I think it's just the 2 parts, like the 2 expansions.
Okay.
But these expansions, like, from going off of part 1, are hefty. It's not like a 30-minute campaign. It's a few missions, and the missions are pretty long, and they're really difficult. It took me a few hours to finish Ancient Gods Part 1.
I'm gonna wait until the full Ancient Gods DLC season is done, and I'm gonna play through it for sure. Cause wait, shit, did Doom Eternal get a PS5 upgrade?
I don't know. I haven't kept a very close eye on that.
Thank you, Push Square. Down here it says, quote, "Don't forget, we've also got a native PS5 upgrade for Doom Eternal on the way, most likely launching at some point this year." Perfect. So when that upgrade comes, I'll get the DLC. I'll be smooth sailing. So
let's get that Nightmare stream.
You know, people keep requesting, like Nightmare Doom Eternal streams. This like weird, obscure indie game called Bloodborne. Like,
if somebody can finish Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare on the Switch, you can do a Nightmare stream on a PS5.
I watched the Digital Foundry video about the Switch version of Doom Eternal. It's fascinating, bro. It is fascinating how that game was able to be, like, just the amount of modifications to make it run somewhat on Switch, you know?
Yeah, they really went all in, because Doom Eternal is a good-looking game.
It's fucking gorgeous. Are you kidding me? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and to get it running on the 2009 hardware of the Switch, it's kind of incredible.
Is 2009 hardware like really that accurate?
It's probably like 2012, probably.
Oh, like overall, like what you're able to output on the Switch? Okay.
I'm saying the Switch is pretty weak.
Yes, right. But that Switch Pro, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we might get up to 2014.
We might get into last gen.
Yeah, no, the Switch, isn't it weaker than like a PS4? Which I get because of the size. I get. I'm just bagging on the Switch a little bit.
I'm pretty certain it's definitely weaker than the PS4. Absolutely. Than the base PS4 for sure. The PS3 though, which, you know what? I bet the PS3 is stronger.
Yeah, the Switch is pretty weak. So it's like getting Doom Eternal to work on like a PS3.
Yeah, I mean the PS3 was 2006, but the difference is that cell processor that was like completely ahead of the time, right? Which helped the PS3 in terms of like longevity, low key. Even though it had the fucking half gig of RAM, insane how we were able to get all those games on it.
Last of Us on a half gig.
That beyond me. I don't know how the fuck that happened, bro. That's like some magic shit. Oh well. But while people are buying, Switches and PCs for taxes and drivers and all that, MPD did put out their February 2021 release, and it is completely official. So I did want to read this out to the crowd. In spite of the PS5 being next to impossible to buy, right? The PS5 is officially the fastest selling hardware in the United States history, based on dollar sales across its first 4 months on the market. Pretty cool.
You love to see it.
That is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? In spite of Bethesda being fucking bought, Game Pass being the best deal in gaming. Sure, absolutely. No one's even denying that. But hey, PS5 still out here on top. You love to see it, you know. You love to see it. Let me see here. So not really that surprising on like the games section, to be honest. Not really surprising. The best-selling game in February was in terms of PS5. Oh, wait, you know what? What is good to know is that still the best-selling PlayStation exclusive since it debuted 4 months ago is still a Spider-Man Miles Morales. So that's pretty neat to see there. You know, it's still kicking. It's still getting a lot of sales. So that's neat. That is neat. So, yeah.
You love to hear it.
Pretty much it. So pretty cool to see that, you know, PS5 is still selling great and all that good stuff in spite of many people not being able to secure it. But of course, last week I had to make the highlight your Call of Duty size rant. You know, I'm sure you saw the clip on Twitter.
I did.
Right? Yeah. Well, of course you saw it because you said it. But I did want to bring up this little story here. Resident Evil Village. We're both very excited for it. All that great stuff. And they did, you know, I don't know if they said it or if it was leaked. Let me see here. Let's see. So I'm not sure. Okay, here we go. So it comes from a Twitter account called PlayStation Game Size, which crawls Sony servers for patch data and preloads. And so they looked at the preloads and stuff like that for Resident Evil Village, and it only weighs in at 27 gigs on PS5, which is fucking great to hear.
How is that only 7 more gigabytes than Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, that's another thing too, bro. Yeah, so on Monday, you guys will probably be seeing a Crash for PS4 to PS5 comparison video up on the channel. And one of the cool things I found, was that Crash 4 on PS4 was like 45 gigs, and on PS5 it's only 20. It's like really fucking cool. So yeah, that's a good point too, ArachKnight, because like the demo that's on PS5, it's a good looking demo. Like there's some high looking textures in there. And it's only 27 gigs. The final game, presumably, is pretty neat, pretty cool. You know.
You know, that's pretty impressive. Like all things considered, which really just goes to show, like, kind of, like, yeah, like it's incompetent. Like I'm just gonna say it. Like,
talk that shit.
It shows a little incompetence coming from, you know, the Call of Duty devs. Because if you can get something like Resident Evil Village at 27 gigs, that is... It definitely shows a level of aptitude that they have and you don't. So get on it. Stop charging $60 for the same game over and over.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean, I think Warzone and this year's COD. You know what? I feel like this year's COD might be cross-gen again, to be honest. But and like I know Warzone will probably forever be cross-gen for like a while, right? But I do think that they really need to buckle down and make a optimized PlayStation 5 and Series X version to bring down that file size. You know, like I think that's almost that's necessary at this point.
Yeah. So they need to get on it. Like the more I hear about other companies doing like figuring it out, and they announced like, yeah, good fucking luck. That's whenever it's like, oh yeah, the file size, like, good fucking luck.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's I don't know. It's lazy, but that I guess that's what Call of Duty has become synonymous with the last few years. I'd say the last like decade at least. Is that it's a lazy game. Yeah. Like, other than a new coat of paint and some gimmicks here and there, what has Call of Duty done differently other than trying to shove in like jetpacks and double jumps and all that other garbage that didn't work. Nothing. Like, I loved Call of Duty. I loved Warzone until they banned me. Because they don't know what to do. Like, they don't know how to do their job. They can't optimize game files. They don't know how to run a security thing. They banned my account. Fuck you. I spent money on that. Give me my money back. I bought the season pass, came back a few days later, and was perma-banned.
I just love the prospect of, like, ArachKnight's having a very nice day. Perhaps he just made a sandwich. Perhaps he has, the best chip out there, Pringles. ArachKnight, don't fucking try to...
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Bro, I thought that you were gonna be all fucking lazy. Nah.
Nah. It's Pringles, gamer.
Pringles are the definitive chip.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
The flavors across the board, fantastic. The presentation in this fucking tube, fantastic. It's truly an experience to buy a Pringles.
But I can tell you what happened that day because it burned into my brain.
Oh, please.
So,
please do.
I had just gotten done with some assignments. I was ready to relax. I was ready to play something. I went downstairs, got a kickstart. I actually did get chips. We didn't have Pringles, unfortunately. So I got like a bowl of like tortilla chips.
Hey,
chilling with that.
Those are good though. Those are fire. Those are fire.
And I was like, I'm gonna play some Warzone before I go work out. Relax a bit. I bought the season pass. I was excited to play. Sat down, went to go load it up, and I see it's like, oh, this account has been permanently banned. It's like, huh? Would you look at that? So I launched the game anyway, and it says, you cannot connect. You've been permanently banned. I go online to kind of rebuke it. And it's like, oh yeah, this is non-negotiable. If you've been permanently banned, sucks to be you. And it's like, oh. And it's like, all money you spent in the game is non-refundable. It's like, oh. So I think about it, and it's like, what could have happened that got me banned? And there were no breaches on my account. Like, everything was pretty secure. And I don't know what it could be. I did pop off. I did get a few shots that were a little sus. I was playing Warzone, and somebody started shooting behind me. I did a quick 180 and shot him in the head with like a car. It's like, oh, that's gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah. So like essentially the only thing that makes sense is that
I got reported by somebody that was angry.
Yeah, that's the only way that makes sense. And perhaps, I assume, I mean, not even assume, you play to a high degree, right? Like, yeah. You're a very skilled player, so perhaps he was misconstrued to thinking that you were cheating or something like that.
Yeah, well, there goes my time, because I got all the weapons to like max level and did all the challenges to get the skins. My money, my hope, and my heart.
Your pride, heart, all that.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Just all in all, moving the tangent aside, very impressive by Capcom. Very impressive on the Crash Bandicoot team. Activision, which is the people that, like Activision Blizzard with all that, but it's fine.
I totally forgot that. It's fucking Activision published.
Yeah. So
bitch. Are you kidding me?
I think they know that there are a lot of people that'll buy Call of Duty because Infinite Warfare, to the extent of my knowledge and my memory, didn't do poorly. Didn't do great, but it didn't do poorly. And that game was that was awful. I didn't even buy it. I saw it was bad. World War II was pretty bad.
I think the last thing I'll say about this, honestly, bro, is that, like, wouldn't you think it'd be in Activision's best interest to, crack the whip on these devs, whether it be Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Raven, etc., right? Like, crack the whip and say, hey, listen, the biggest... So, like, right now, there are more base PS4s out there currently than any other modern generation console. That's just facts, right? We cannot fit our ever-evolving, ever-existing Battle Royale, as well as the current Call of Duty, on the same console. That's a problem. Right? Like, you want people playing Cold War and you want people playing Warzone, right? But you can't fit both on the most popular current hardware right now. Current in, quotes, because PS5 is current, but you know what I'm saying? Like, modern console. Wouldn't you assume that, like, that would be a huge problem that they would want to fix, like, immediately?
It's, I don't know, like, just buy another hard drive. Broke ass.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know. I went off on my tirade last week. The last thing I'll say about it is just get your shit together. Like, this is, like, fuck you.
and a fuck you, of course.
Yeah, out the door, like, 1 foot out the door, you turn around. Just fuck you. Just
hell yeah. That's what I do every time I leave work,
Every time I leave work, I would kick the door open and, like, scream.
Oh man, our next story here. Oh man, alright, so famously, factions on The Last of Us 1. I'm gonna say it just straight up. Listen, it's pay to win, alright? Like, it's straight pay to win, okay? It's a fun mode. I fucking love factions, but Factions 1 is 100% pay to win. There are just clear advantages that you get to buying all the weapons on the PS Store. Nickel and dime you left and right. It's pay to win, okay? However, GameSpot has reported that Naughty Dog is now looking to fill the position of, quote, an economy designer. So the description here goes as follows. We're looking for a passionate multiplayer economy designer who can help us create avenues for self-expression for our players, ensure robust longevity to our games, and give our players great rewards to strive for. They will also be required to, quote, design and tune game economy progression and collaborate extensively with the live operations team to optimize economy and respond to player needs. So this, obviously, I'm assuming is tying to Factions 2, right? Number 1. So it's good to hear that, they are still recruiting for this project and still, trying to ensure its success. And also, it seems that they are finally, well, not finally, because this is their next shot at Factions, but they are going to address the long talked about, pay to win nature of Factions. So, not sure how much experience you have with Factions directly, ArachKnight, but how do you feel about this news? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you have a specific, like, economy model that you want Factions 2 to go down? You got any thoughts about it?
I did play Factions quite a bit when, like, Last of Us came out, and I did play it a bit on PS4. I have a lot of good memories with that. But the pay to win is obviously, like, I don't think there's anybody that'll disagree that getting rid of it is a good call because I don't know, it creates more money in your pocket, sure, but it decreases longevity of your game and it decreases enjoyment substantially, because that was a huge thing when Battlefront 2 came out, like when it first came out in the beta, is that sense of pride and accomplishment or whatever to like, you can get the weapons, but it takes forever, and why not just pay 99 cents to get a gun? And I don't know, it makes things worse. So I'm really glad that they're designing a way to get rid of it, because it puts everybody on even footing, which is the way that it should be. Sure, people with more experience will probably have better guns than you if you jump into a quick match and you're level 1 and there's a level 50, sure. But at the end of the day, like, the deciding factor between victory and loss should be a matter of skill, not how much money you've put into the game. It's the combined skill of all the players on your team opposed to the combined skill of everybody on the opposing team. And it's always heartbreaking to say or to hear, I could have won if they didn't buy a better gun than I have. Like, it's just the entire fate of winning or losing, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that important, but it's still important to the people putting their time. They're investing their time into playing a game for their own enjoyment. Why would they come back if all of those efforts that they had put in are ruined or otherwise pale in the shadow of someone who spent $199 to buy a better gun in every way than the ones that you had accrued throughout your playtime? There's no point. Like, you either cave in, you deal with it, or you leave. And that's what I've done with all these games that I like. If I'd consistently lost to something like people buying better weapons that I could ever have, why would I stick around? I'll play something else. I'll sink my time into a game that doesn't have that model, and I'll leave. And I know that's not just me. So slowly but surely we are moving away from the model of loot boxes and pay to win. And that's something that I cannot get behind more. Like, it is the way that it should be. Because loot boxes are a whole other demon. Fuck you, CSGO. CSGO is the worst example. Like, $250 for a key. $2.50 for a key. One key to open one crate. Sure, you could get a knife that costs $500 in the market, but more than likely you're gonna get a piece of shit that costs 50 cents.
Yeah.
And it's not even just an economy thing. It's a what? $250? 4 keys. 4 keys. You know, you get a small pizza with that. You could treat yourself to a meal. But no, you chose to buy digital keys to get digital skins. Like, you
could buy Pringles with that.
You could buy Pringles. You want to know how much money I spent on those keys when I was a kid?
How much?
At least $200.
Jesus Christ. Like,
I'm an idiot.
Where I'm at, right, is that, like, I don't mind the prospect of having like a la carte marketplace to buy a specific weapon that you want in an online game, right? Like, I really don't mind that, right? What I want next to that, if you're going to have that option, right, is an ability to simply earn the weapon reasonably, right? Like,
right.
Don't force me to do like 500 headshots or like some bullshit like that, right? Versus like paying like, you know, $5 or $10 or something like that, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm more in the market of cosmetics. Like,
cosmetics, I can give less of a fuck. Yeah, like you can put as many of them as you want in the game. I'm not gonna buy them. I don't give a shit. Like, I may buy one if it's blue and yellow. You know what I'm saying? And it really speaks to me. But like, cosmetics, I do not care about. I'm right with you on that. Yeah.
If you're going to release something on the market as a new weapon that you can only get on the market or through whatever earning it, there needs to be an extra emphasis on balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't make it way better, but you can't make it way worse. So for every weapon added that costs additionally, there needs to be an extra emphasis on making sure the weapon is balanced relative to the state of play. Because there are different metas from time to time. There are metas where shotguns are the way to go. There are metas where rifles are the way to go, etc. for different games. But you need to make sure that there's like a balance. It could do high damage, but the fire rate needs to be lower, or it needs to have a hell of a lot of recoil or whatever.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that everybody's on the same playing field, or else you're going to ruin the game that you're trying to develop.
I agree.
Stop making cosmetics so expensive. I'm looking at you, Apex. You know how much money I had to pay to get a, like, okay, so I'm a big Daredevil fan. That is not for dispute.
Yes.
There was a skin in Apex for Octane.
Okay.
That looked a lot like a Daredevil helmet, and I'm talking pretty close.
That's hot.
I had to pay $20 for a skin. Just one skin. One skin cost me $20. But that's neither here nor there. I paid it anyway. As I was going through the cart, I was like, I'm an idiot. This is dumb. This is a first-person game.
Oh, yeah, it's first person, too.
Yeah. It's like I'm dumb.
When you're reviving someone in Apex, you'll see it.
Yeah,
when you're dropping down. Yeah, lobby. Yeah.
But it's like, this is a first-person game. This is dumb as fuck. And then I hit confirm purchase. But neither here nor there.
Yeah, like, I say, listen, if a weapon's going to be stat changing, you gotta have another route to access that weapon without paying money via challenges, which I like that system. Like, just give me 3 relatively easy challenges that will take me on average like an hour to do, and then just let me have the weapon, or I can pay $5 or some other reasonable price,
like Resident Evil 2. I know this isn't a multiplayer game, but Resident Evil 2 had something where you could unlock all of the extra weapons where it's like, oh, you did S+ on hardcore and you get a rocket launcher, or you beat the game under 2 hours and you get this, or you could just pay $5 and get all of it. And I feel like that's a great system to have, because if you don't feel like doing everything, like if you don't feel like breaking all of the raccoon toys around Raccoon City along 2 playthroughs, I think it takes 2. No, I think it takes 3 playthroughs to get all the raccoon toys. If you don't feel like doing it, just pay $5 and you get a rocket launcher, you get a gun that never runs out, you get this, and this. You get all the extra goodies with none of the work. It's $5.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah,
and or you earn it, whatever.
Yeah, and definitely like you said at the top, it's a single player game, so you're not affecting anyone but yourself.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Did you see this though? Again, we gotta talk about this random indie game that everyone keeps telling me to stream, Bloodborne. You know what I'm saying? There was a little bug. I'm gonna say up first, it's a bug before people freak out. Okay, just want to bring it up just because it's fun. I don't know. PlayStation Store. There was a bug that a user saw on Twitter where there is a PS5 version of Bloodborne, but this has been a bug that has been seen on other games as well on the store. So I wouldn't give it too much, what's the word? Like, wouldn't give it too much attention, or wouldn't read too much into it. But it is what it is. Yeah. So Bloodborne PS5, it was there. It's a store glitch, but I do think still I do still think it would be very wise for Sony to tap From Software and get them to do a PS5 version of it. I don't know if they'll do it, considering that they didn't do it for PS4 Pro, but I would like to see it get updated. For sure. But that is that. And in the realm of PS5 upgrades as well, Overwatch, the base Overwatch, will be skipping out PS5 next-gen upgrades until Overwatch 2 comes out. So what it is that they are doing a Xbox Series X and S version of Overwatch that will get like 4K 60 and even like 120 frames, I think, for 1080p resolution, but there's nothing for PS5 players. And that is because I guess it's the way that Sony handles PS5 and PS4 versions of its games, that for whatever reason they would have to produce a brand new native PS5 version to get these enhancements, which is, I guess, a lot for like them to do right now, I guess. And it completely forgoes whether you own Overwatch already or not. So yeah, I thought this would be pretty interesting because like we haven't really seen this happen. And like, I mean, Overwatch is a big game. Like, it's not like it's, some small indie, like it's Activision Blizzard, like it's a big deal. So actually here, the Push Square article says, as such, Overwatch now finds itself in the same boat as Rocket League and Warzone. Both titles look and run much better on Xbox Series X and S. So yeah, like it seems like those are also games that have been affected by this, which are bigger games, which goes against what the hell I just said. But interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff. I would like these games to get upgrades, but
yeah, I don't know. I played Overwatch back in the day, like when it first came out, for maybe 2 hours. So
I like Overwatch, man.
I don't know. Like maybe if I went back into it now and messed around with it, I would enjoy it a little more. But there's also a fucking hamster in a mech suit or whatever. Like, I don't know what's going on. I just wanted to run around like my silly little soldier shooting people. Like, I wanted it pretty simple, and then it just wasn't the game for me. Like, the capture the point every time got kind of old. But that's neither here nor there. I think it's fine. Eventually, when they do upgrade it, or when Overwatch 2 comes out, I have my own opinions on Overwatch 2 as a concept in general, but it'll get updated, or maybe they'll just leave it behind because it is an older game. It's 5 years old, just under. Yeah. So once Overwatch 2 comes out, they'll just say goodbye to Overwatch on the PS4 and move on.
I bet that we have the same opinion on Overwatch 2. In fact, that we should never be getting a sequel for this type of game. It should just be updated moving forward. I bet that's probably your opinion, right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Overwatch 2 is a separate game.
Yeah, for me it feels a lot like Destiny 2, where it's like, why are we getting a Destiny sequel when we could just update Destiny? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely check out Overwatch 2. Like, long story short, with me in Overwatch, I played it a decent amount on PS4, liked it a lot, and it's definitely a shooter that if I wasn't into any other games, right, I think I would devote myself to Overwatch, to be honest. Big fan. I like it. Next up here, I definitely wanted to have your opinion on this whole thing. Denuvo anti-cheat is coming to PS5 developers. So the statement goes here, quote, Denuvo's anti-cheat incorporates advanced technology to secure both online gameplay as well as securely reward offline progress. The technology helps game developers protect sensitive game logic or data, preventing cheaters from changing sensitive variables and ensuring its trustworthiness. A number of games incorporated Denuvo's anti-cheat at launch of PS5 to ensure best experience for the gamers. So, how do you feel about this software being on PS5? I know you had a opinion about it on PC with Doom Eternal, so let me hear the rundown.
So on PlayStation consoles, it's a different problem to tackle based on the level of privacy and, for lack of a better word, intimacy that a PC has. So going off, like, starting with my thoughts when it was on Doom Eternal and on my PC, it was a different idea because my PC has a lot more personal data than my PlayStation console could ever have. It has files, it has documents, it is basically an extension of my identity because I spend a lot of time on my computer for work and school and my leisure time. So my computer has a lot of personalized data about me that I would rather stay with me. And De Novo is a kernel level anti-cheat that has admin level access to everything on my computer that can be accessed at any time by an outside party for any reason within their rights. I play the game, I install the software, they have the right because, it's an agreement. It's the terms and conditions.
Right.
That no one reads. And on a PlayStation console, I couldn't care less because the only thing that I use a console for is playing games. It's not like I use it as a home computer. It's the only private information about me is already in Sony's hands based on my account information. It's my credit card information if it were to be there, my address if it were to be there, my name, and so it's a different being to really deal with and to really feel comfortable with or not. So if it's on my computer, I don't want it. I'll get rid of it. If your game has a kernel level anti-cheat and it's on my computer, I'm getting rid of it. I did it with Valorant, I did it with Doom Eternal until they got rid of it. But on a PlayStation console, it doesn't really matter unless you mod your console, which is breaking terms and conditions anyway. You are downloading third-party software onto your console for whatever reason. And I get why people do it. I did it with the Wii way back in the day. More accurately, my sister did it with the Wii way back in the day. And we had to buy a new Wii.
Really?
Yeah, my sister got us banned from Nintendo Online. It was a console ban.
Jesus Christ.
It wasn't just with Mario Kart. Because I wanted to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl online, and it wasn't a great experience, but I was a kid. I'll take whatever online I could get. And it said that I couldn't. I was permanently banned. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll play Mario Kart online. And I thought since it was a different profile, I could just do that. Again, I was 9 years old. I didn't really understand. And it said I couldn't there either. It's like, okay. And so I went to my sister. I was like, what did you do, you rat? And she was like, oh, I downloaded Homebrew and I cheated online at Mario Kart.
You hate to see it.
So you fucking rat?
A Brooklyn rat at that. A Brooklyn rat.
And so we went to my dad, and he automatically thought I did something. I was like, no, this was my sibling. And he was like, how badly do you want to play online? And Dana's like, I want to play online. And I said, I want to play online. And he tried. He's like, okay, this is going to be both of your Christmas gifts. It's like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I would have deferred it to just her Christmas gift, to be honest, at that point.
So it was her Christmas and birthday gift.
Okay.
To get a new Wii. I was like, yeah, fuck you.
Hey, but good shit on them for getting another Wii, Yeah. Shout out to that. Shout out to that.
But all in all, tangent aside, I don't mind particularly because I don't think I'm not comfortable with modding consoles because it's a different it has an extra layer of risk that doesn't seem to reap any benefits. In my opinion, because Sure, you could mod some stuff on your console. Like, you want to put mods to play Spider-Man PS4 a different way, sure. But is it really worth that much? Like, risking the functionality of your console if anything were to go wrong? Because it's not like something you could send a Geek Squad or do yourself. Because if there's an issue with my computer, most of the time I can figure it out on my own. But this is also just my lack of console modding experience talking. I'm sure there's workarounds and ways to figure things out like a traditional computer. But I honestly don't see the issue with having it on my PlayStation console. Like, it's just an extra layer to make sure that people don't hack in online lobbies on a console, because it's a headache for the players and it's a headache for the developers, and I don't see an issue with it. Like, all in all, I think it's a good call. Like, I don't mind. People like to synonymize de novo with, oh, they're invading my privacy. And with that, it's just like, don't be a fucking baby. Like, just don't cheat.
Yeah, because, I mean, when I read this, I thought you would have a completely different perspective. But, like, when you explained it, right, and I understand that, like, hey, like, a PC has much more sensitive information than a traditional game console, where, you know, yeah, like, you may have your account info, but, like, it's not like your social security's in there, right? Like, it's not like there's, like, really anything that, like, that's like truly, like, I mean, you know, if you have your card info in there, yeah, that's life-changing for sure. Like, if that gets out of hands or whatever, or, like, gets into, you know, someone else's hands, definitely. But the risk of that is much higher on PC, where you have a ton of personal info on your PC, right?
You have trackers and cookies and other things to the websites that you use. You have information scattered everywhere, information you may not typically think about. But it still exists.
Yeah, there's not even a web browser on PS5 technically. There is, it's hidden. You can only sign into Twitter on it, but technically there is one. But, like, it's not like it's a browser that you can go to whatever website, right? So, yeah. Like, I appreciate your perspective on this, you know, because I definitely thought you would be, like, against this, but actually breaking it down, you made a lot of sense. You made a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm here for.
You'll love to see it. We got two more quick stories here. Little Big Planet servers were taken down, I guess, by a fan. Let's see here. Do we have a reason why? Let's see. So, according to Eurogamer, it's all because one fan isn't happy with how Sony has treated the franchise. Are you fucking kidding me? So, one fan isn't happy with how Sony has treated the Little Big Planet franchise, so they DDoSed the fucking servers. The person in question is said to have brought servers to their knees through orchestrated DDoS attacks, forcing them to be taken offline. You got a Sackboy game. There's literally a Sackboy game now. That's more LBP. You know? Gamers will be gamers, man. Fuck this guy.
I don't know. I've talked about it, like, a few times on a few different stories, but the over-encroaching theme that seems to come out a lot when talking about just consumers in general is a level of entitlement that...
It's true.
Hey,
it's true.
Like, there are times that I can come off as entitled. I don't mean to be, but it could be approached in that way. But
yeah.
It's when you're doing something like that deliberately against a company, because it's different to badmouth a company. Like, I'll badmouth a company any day of the week. I don't care.
Activision,
fuck you. But it's different to take a personalized stance against it in the terms of taking down servers and hacking and stuff like that. Like, it's like, man, they didn't do what I wanted, I'm gonna take them down. Like, don't be a baby about it.
I just don't understand, because, like, yo, the Sackboy game looks fun. It looks great, and it's gotten great reviews. Like, it's a good sound game as far as I can tell.
You know, but it sounds fine. Like, if you're a Little Big Planet fan, it sounds fine. But it's kind of like the wham, they didn't do what I wanted mentality. It's the baby tantrum mentality. It's like, they didn't do what I wanted. They didn't give me a popsicle. So I'm gonna start a tantrum and throw shit around like a baby.
Listen, I'll throw a fucking tantrum if Horizon Zero Dawn never gets a PS5 patch. Like, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say, is that entitled? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps.
Cut a little bit.
Bro, I need that. I need that patch, bro. Give me that shit, yo.
There's a... Sorry. You go. All I was gonna say is there's a world of a difference between disappointment and tantrum. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. I'm not gonna DDoS. I don't even know how to incite a DDoS attack against a company. I know what a DDoS attack is. Like, I know how it works. I don't know how to do it. But I'm just hoping, ArachKnight, that, you know, Play at Home initiative, they bring out Horizon Zero Dawn and announce alongside it the PS5 patch with it. That would be fucking spectacular. Like, I would cry. Straight up. But the last story here to go over. This one was just a little fun little tease, a little fun little thing. Sony Santa Monica is looking for a lead writer for the unannounced project that they did officially announce through another job listing. I think they were looking for an art lead the last time we talked about this, but now they're looking for a writer. So just not much here. They're looking for someone that, quote, is the ideal candidate that has a mastery of storytelling, deeply understands the marriage between gameplay and narrative. This individual will be responsible for crafting powerful storylines, strong character arcs, compelling dialogue, while maintaining an equal focus on building and developing the writing team. So it's just cool because this is definitely their new announced project that we have not heard of yet. It's not God of War. The thing that kind of, you know, what I just thought of, like, as they you know, were giving us what they want out of this lead writer here in this job listing. They say they want someone that can craft powerful storylines and strong story arcs, right? Now, of course, single player games can have multiple characters in it, that have multiple arcs. But I feel like this kind of sounds like something that's a little bit like an RPG, you know, something that's long term. That's just what my little inkling is here with what they said they are looking for. You got any thoughts about this? You know what I'm saying? You liked God of War 2018, so did I. Santa Monica's on they shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm curious if you have any thoughts.
The concept of arcs could be an RPG, but it also could be sequels. Sequels was the first thing that came to mind for me. Because
okay,
you know, that's a huge thing in games, unless you assume that this will be a one-off, or it could, like, arcs, you know, they could be hinted at in the first game and come to fruition in the second game.
Very true.
Or it's like a long-standing game, because there are character arcs and there are, you know, like, narrative arcs. Like, oh, in God of War 2018, Kratos' character arc is going from a cold, distant father to as close to a supportive, affectionate father as Kratos can be. Like, which is still not great, but, you know, he's working on it. And Atreus' character arc. But it's also like oh, where did they start? They thought they were just going to go to the tallest point in their realm, but then they ended up in Jotunheim to be in the highest point of all the realms. And that's an arc. So
Fair
the
point.
ability to weave both character and narrative arcs, like, fluidly, is super important in a compelling story. And it's what makes the difference between a game. It's like, yeah, the gameplay was fun and that's the only reason I play it, to the story was just as enjoyable as the gameplay. And I feel like that's something that it's one of the most important things you can have in a game, or else your game kind of gets bogged down by time. It's like, because there are some games where we all have games that we can think of where it's like the story was ass, but the gameplay was a lot of fun. And that's the only reason I play it anymore.
Ratchet and Clank 2016. I mean, low key. Like the characters are cool. The story is just like very watered down, but the gameplay's dope as fuck.
Exactly. So that's something that they want to avoid. They want to keep everything at the quality that we have become accustomed to. So I'm excited to see who they hire and what they write. I'm excited to see what they do. So
I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited as well. I'm excited to see the Sony, I'm excited to be sitting here reacting to like a state of play, right? We see the Santa Monica logo, okay? And it's not God of War. Like, it's something completely different. What I want is I want a sci-fi game from them. I really do, but that's just me. Moving on, of course, we have arrived to the what's it called? Question of the week. Question of I said what's it called? What the fuck? Man, I'm tripping. Question of the week. Are Bethesda games coming to PlayStation 5? We did get a lot of updates on this whole thing. To catch everyone else up to speed, it has been made official. The deal is signed. The ink is dry. Xbox and Microsoft have officially bought ZeniMax, thus Bethesda as well. So we got some quotes here by Phil Spencer. I know you just talked for a while. I would like to hear your voice, sir. Read what Phil Spencer had to say. Maybe you can take the first paragraph. I'll take second. But I think we need to first start from the top and really just put out there what was said, and then we'll go into our thoughts and like how we feel about this whole thing, right? So okay. If you got it pulled up, feel free to read the words of Daddy Phil Spencer.
If you're an Xbox consumer, the thing I want you to know is that this is about delivering great exclusive games to you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. Prior to that, Phil Spencer once again confirms Microsoft will honor any pre-existing deals, such as Sony's timed exclusive contracts for Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo. Microsoft may also do things on other platforms where a franchise's legacy is a large factor, but we're honestly struggling to think of any Bethesda franchises that are heavily linked to PlayStation. Sure, the games have launched on PS4 and PS3 in the past, but previously deals have usually involved Microsoft. DLC for Elder Scrolls Skyrim came to Xbox 360 first, for example. And would you like me to read the next paragraph?
Yeah, I did not explain that correctly. Like, I wanted to just read the yeah.
Quoted it.
Here. I'll take the first paragraph. You take second, and we'll call it a read along. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So this is what Phil Spencer said. Quote, I'm going to try to be as clear as I can because that's what I just think is fair. So this is like a direct, so there's certain thing, whatever. Y'all get what I'm saying. So obviously I can't sit here and say every Bethesda game is exclusive because we know that's not true. There's contractual obligations that we're going to see through, as we always do in every one of these instances. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to support those games on the platforms they're on. There are communities of players. We love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them. And even in the future, there might be things that have either contractual things or a legacy on different platforms that we'll go do.
But if you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is that this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists, and that's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building, and the creative capability we will be able to bring to market for Xbox customers. It is going to be the best ever event for Xbox after we're done here. I believe him.
Yeah, like I do as well. Like, just to point out a few things, right? Like, I think it's very telling, and like this is what I've been saying for a long time as well. Phil Spencer says this directly, okay? The thing I want you to know is this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. So I've always said that, like, it's not that Xbox bought Bethesda, it's that Game Pass bought Bethesda. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all about Game Pass, right? This is all about sweetening that deal and making it the best possible deal in gaming, right? Which I still think it is to this day, right? Like, I think 100% Game Pass is far and away better than PS Now. Far away. I mean, you know, I did make the argument last week that like PS Plus is getting better, and I feel like it is entering a new era that is really bolstering Plus and really changing it in terms of optics, right? But it's definitely no Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
But what I don't know, like, I've just been like wrestling with this whole quote and everything, right? I do think it's interesting how they bring up the, like, how do you read Orly? Like, how do you read when he talks about you know, they'll continue to support Bethesda games on other platforms that have a legacy with that platform. How do you read that?
A legacy, I would assume, is pre-existing sequels, but any new IPs will be Xbox exclusive. Like Elder Scrolls 6, that very well may come out on PlayStation consoles because, you know, Oblivion, Skyrim, all of them came out on PlayStation consoles previously, and it may be, my dog is barking, and it why is my dog barking?
Yo,
Chill
he
out.
has some thoughts on Xbox.
He a little angry.
Yo, he's fucking pissed.
But
He's fucking mad.
all I was gonna say is that maybe games with pre-existing sequels, such as Doom Eternal, and if there is the next Doom game, may come out on PlayStation consoles.
Yeah, like there's a few ways that you could read this. Like, one that I think a lot of people have been saying, which I think to a degree makes sense, right? Is the prospect of like games that are already out, right? Like, for example, it's not that, you know, like tomorrow they're gonna announce that they're cutting off DLC support for Doom Eternal, you know, or like Fallout 76, you know what I'm saying, or Elder Scrolls Online, right? Like, those are going to continue to be supported on those platforms. He says that outright, like he says that straight up, right? And of course, that also doesn't mean that they're going to take away the exclusivity deals with Deathloop and Ghostwire. Those are still going to remain intact. He says that here. So he clears up those two possible avenues, right? What I'm still hung up on is a few things here, okay? What I kind of don't understand is that so like, he says here that he cannot be clear, and he literally says verbatim, quote, "So obviously I can't sit here and say every Bethesda game is exclusive because we know that that's not true." We know, I mean, like, we're not fucking idiots. Like we know that's not true. Like, we know that we're getting Deathloop in May and Ghostwire presumably in the fall of this year, right? Like, we weren't born yesterday, right? So I don't understand why you can't just say, hey, we're going to, because you say it here, we're going to honor Deathloop, we're going to honor Ghostwire Tokyo, and we're going to honor existing games that are already released on PlayStation hardware and their support going forward. However, everything else that is brand new beyond this point will be exclusive to Game Pass. Why can't you just say that if that is the case? You know? Like, it's not even like a matter of like, oh, they're still, you know, making the deal and you know, Microsoft and ZeniMax are two different. No, like, Microsoft owns them. They are now one in the same officially. So that's what I'm failing to see why he couldn't have just said that, which is why I think there's still something here, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's business. Like, in the business world, everybody's gotta go around the subject instead of just saying it directly.
Yeah.
And that's gets a little old, a little fast.
Yeah, like, yeah, I mean, but like, I also feel like if we were in a alternate reality, right, where Sony bought Bethesda, okay, I promise you, as soon as that ink is fucking dry, they would say, "Hey, yo, all this shit exclusive, period." Huh?
They'd be like, "Fuck Xbox."
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding me? They've been shitting on them all fucking gen. Of course they would. The fuck? Nintendo would as well if there was a future where they bought Bethesda, which they wouldn't. I don't know why. That would be a weird timeline. But like, if they did, right? You think PlayStation or Nintendo would hesitate at all to just say flat out, yes, everything is exclusive. Go fuck yourselves. Like, come to our platform. You know, this is business, right? So that's why, like, I don't know, man. Like, now 100% what I do think here, right? I did think that we would at least get like Starfield, for example, at a later release date, right? Like, it'd be timed exclusive, play it first on Xbox, and then eventually it would come to PS5. Now, clearly, after this, I really don't think that's the case. I think that what is going down here is that for sure, 100% undeniable, any new IP, like any new Bethesda IP, will be not coming to PS5 or the PS4. Like that's pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
You know.
But
yep, go ahead.
It's a W for me. I don't care.
Yes, right. Yeah. So, yeah, like, I mean, as this news has been stewing, honestly, you know, ArachKnight, I'm going to tell it to you straight, you know? I'm going to tell it to you straight. You know what I'm saying? If it comes out, okay, let me just put this into perspective too, okay? The Bethesda games I care about are Doom and Wolfenstein. And that's pretty much it. You know, Fallout 76 was going to be my first Fallout. LMAO, that went hilariously, right? So I'm not a Fallout fan. I've never been remotely interested in Elder Scrolls, right? I don't know about Deathloop. I'm gonna try it out, maybe. You know, if it's good, then bet. We'll add it to the list I care about. Ghostwire, unknown quantity as well. So overall, like, really the only two games I really care about from Bethesda is Doom and Wolfenstein, which, you know, like I would like to believe that puts me in a bracket of, like, you know, I'm not like the biggest Bethesda fan. I like their work on Deathloop I like their work on Doom and Wolfenstein, of course, right? But like, I'm not the Fallout guy. I'm not the Elder Scrolls guy, right? And Starfield, who knows if that's gonna be good? You know, it looks interesting from what we've seen so far. Very, very little, but you know, in premise, it looks cool, right? So ultimately, like, Bethesda being bought by Microsoft and those games not coming to PlayStation, honestly, it's not the end of the world for me because I don't have that much stake into Bethesda as a whole, okay? Now, I will say, to tie it all the way back, I will say, if it comes out that Wolfenstein 3 and Doom 3 are Game Pass exclusive, I may have to start downloading drivers and buy a PC. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what's gonna do it for me, you know? If I absolutely have to, cause yeah, I could get an Xbox, but like at that point, I might as well just get a PC and have more utility with a PC, right? That just makes the most sense to me, you know?
Finally.
So yeah, like, that's where that is, right? But what I'm hung up on is his terminology for using, quote, a legacy on different platforms. Like, I feel like you could have just said existing titles on different, like, the word legacy is an interesting one to use, You know what I'm saying? Like that like points to like a legacy. So like I don't know, man. Like I don't want to be like seeming like I'm reading in between the lines too much or whatever, but like I'm just honestly looking at this quote and trying to break down like what he means by legacy, because like it's not a straightforward thing, right? Like I think another way that you can look at legacy is like, hey, there were a lot of people that bought Fallout on PlayStation over the years. There were a lot of people that bought Skyrim and Elder Scrolls on PlayStation throughout the years. There's been a lot of people that have bought Doom, a lot of people that bought Wolfenstein on PlayStation. Like is that what you mean by legacy? So like existing properties of Bethesda that have been multi-plat will still be multi-platform, and it's just new titles from Bethesda will be exclusive? Like, is that what you mean?
That's the best case scenario, but that's also a lot of games. Like if they make a Prey 2, next Doom, next Elder Scrolls, next Dishonored, that's a lot of games.
It is.
But
it is.
If I had to put money on any company to be consumer friendly enough for multi-plat, it's Microsoft. Like we talked about earlier, Sony and Nintendo would feed Microsoft to the fucking dogs if they bought Bethesda. Like it's like, fuck them. Like you don't have games, you're about to get less. It's like
you're
like
about to get less.
It's like taking food from someone at like a soup line.
Yeah.
It's like they waited in line, they got their food, and then you just take it out of their hands and you eat it. That's what Sony would do to Microsoft. And a younger me, a more vindictive me, it's like, yeah, fuck them. But as I've grown older and my rage is tempered, just put games on every platform and stop being a bitch about it. Like, I get it. Like, you want exclusivity, but like, I don't know, I feel like the age has passed for exclusives. It's like we're not in the 90s anymore. It's not you would have ads personally targeting the opposition like Sega and Nintendo. Like they would have full ads. It's like Sega does what Nintendo don't. That was a tagline. I remember that. 90s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't remember, like I lived through it, but I saw it in a documentary. Please continue. Yeah.
So, the age of the 90s has passed, and the early ages of the early 2000s, were exclusives. Like, it was the console wars, which is fucking dumb. Like, I get it. This is a PlayStation channel. At the end of the day, I am a PlayStation fan, but you gotta move on eventually. And I believe the best possible scenario for moving on is buying a console based on factors rather than their exclusives. Because I bought a full ass Xbox One, right, for 2 games, and it's gone now. I know where it is. I will never get it back, probably. And I don't really give a shit, because I bought that console for 2 games. Like, you shouldn't have to shill out $500 for a console just because it has a game you like. You should buy a console based on the merit of its quality. Like, do you want more power or do you want a faster load time? And that should be the deciding factor on whether or not you buy a console, rather than I want to play Halo, or I want to play Dead Rising, or whatever. I want to play Spider-Man. If you're an Xbox fan, you shouldn't have to buy a full-ass console just to play Spider-Man, because that's what I would have done. If I was an Xbox guy and Spider-Man PS4 was the way it was, like a PS4 exclusive, I would have bought a full-ass console to play it. And I don't believe that's the way it should be.
Yeah, like, perhaps, we'll listen to this back like 10 years later, right? And perhaps like you had the more like forward thinking opinion, which could definitely be the case, right? And like I know, like, in terms of exclusivity today, right? As exclusivity stings at the sharpest point of the sword, right? When it's being dealt to you, right? Like when you can't play a game that you want to play because you don't have a platform that it's released on, right? Like I know that's where it stings the most, right? And like I know that, you know, I can buy God of War, I can buy Spider-Man, right? Because I'm on the PlayStation platform, right? But like I do get that whole thing, but like I still do believe that exclusives are what I think define and what really give a platform its like specific, unique personality, if you will, right? Like, and I think that PlayStation has done a very, very good job at like cultivating that this generation that just happened, where like, you know, they took their first party studios, buckled down, and the overwhelming majority of them made incredible exclusive titles that just entice and bolster the PlayStation platform as a whole, right? Xbox decided to purchase a third-party developer and publisher, kind of sort of, but like mainly developer, right? And inherit those studios into the Microsoft Xbox family, right? Which honestly, to like a certain degree, like I don't think it's that crazy to say that like I still respect the way PlayStation has climbed to their height as opposed to any height that Microsoft and Game Pass will reach. Like in terms of like them being like consumer friendly, 100% definitely buy that, you know. The way they have been bolstering Game Pass, commendable. Can't talk shit about that, you know. Like everything that like they do in terms of like the business end for the consumer, I feel has been pretty positive overall, right? But like I would still and probably forever like note it worthy that like there was nothing like the climb from the bottom of the PS3 generation to the top of the PS4 generation, you know, and hopefully continuing, you know what I'm saying? Because like it really was a deal of like PlayStation just buckled down and their studios made fucking incredible games, banger after banger after banger, right? And Microsoft, presumably, if these future Bethesda games are great in quality or whatever, they just pay to have that, you know, which like I don't know, and yeah, like that's kind of my thought on that. But like I still do think that exclusives are important, you know, to the platform, right? Like whether we like them or not, you know what I'm saying? Like I've always had a interest to play Halo, right? I've always had a interest. I mean, mainly it's Halo, to be honest with you. Like Gears kind of, but not really, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I mean, if Starfield ends up being fucking great, right? And I really want to play it, you know, it's just the way our industry exists, where yeah, you got to get a platform to play some games. And I say your line of thinking is very forward thinking because like maybe it doesn't have to be that way in the future, you know, but I think just right now exclusives still matter right now, you know what I'm saying, for sure, whether we like him or not, you know what I'm saying. I just think it's like very contradictory as well because like, you know, like Phil has said that, well, you know what, no, we don't even have to bring that up because like that, like he wasn't talking about games specifically, he was talking about platforms. But at the end of the day, you know, I still don't know if we have the complete 100% answer on this, just based on that legacy thing, you know, like,
yeah.
And hey, if it turns out that like the likes of like Wolfenstein and Bethesda in the future are gonna be exclusive to Xbox and they don't come to PlayStation, I'll say right here live on the fucking show, I'll say I was wrong. Fuck it, you know, like I don't mind being wrong. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But I just feel like even the way he's talking after the deal is done. That there's still, I think, a future where we see existing franchises that have been on PlayStation and have sold very well on PlayStation will still continue to be on PlayStation. However, anything new, a la Starfield, will be exclusive to Xbox and Game Pass. I think like that is something that could be possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, you know, because I was pretty dead set on them also bringing their big titles to PlayStation and Xbox. I was pretty confident in that, to be honest with you. So, you know, it still has yet to be determined. But I am fascinated to see how this all ends up for sure. Very, 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 very interested. Because like, I don't know. I mean, ArachKnight, tell me if I'm wrong here. I still think it's wise for Microsoft to be like, you know what? Yeah, we own Bethesda, but you know what would be a really like wild fucking move? If we still put out the existing franchise games on PlayStation and charge them $70 to do a couple things. One, we get that revenue, right? Obviously, right. Number one. Number two, we have a consistent reminder that, like, hey, if you're enjoying these franchises, if you're enjoying these games, but you're tired of paying $70 every fucking time, you can get an Xbox and get Game Pass and pay $15 a month to have all of these games instead of paying $70 every fucking time. And if you're, you know, and if you don't want to do that, that's fine. We'll just take your fucking money anyway.
There are no downsides. Because it's almost like an olive branch. It's like, yeah, we could take all this shit away from you, but we're not going to. Because we know that you wouldn't do the same for us.
Yeah, in a way, right? But like, I just think it's like a very just easy way to advertise your platform on another platform.
Yeah, like, you know, like what we talked about is seeing PlayStation Studios under like an Xbox like Series X like case.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, most people aren't gonna give a damn because they're just gonna buy the game and be done with it. But the people that do care or are interested, it's like, oh, PlayStation Studios made this game, maybe I should get a PS5.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Or like at least like be aware of them, and like, you know, you now know, hey, if you like a game, like for example, if someone's brand new to MLB 21 when they buy it on their Series X, and they're like, damn, like, you know, this is a quality game. Who made this? Oh shit, PlayStation Studios made this? Fuck, it's a good product. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that like everyone's gonna fucking move over, but like it's gonna start to plant seeds, and it'd be interesting to see Microsoft plant seeds in the PlayStation, you know, base, and bring them over with not only hopefully their games are quality, right? It's just a good game in itself, but also you mix in that value proposition and you tell those people, hey, $15 a month, Game Pass, over here on this side, you know?
It's like that just really hones it in. It's like there are no downsides in having eliminating console exclusivity. Like there are no downsides to it. It's I don't know. Maybe I am a little too progressive when it comes to this, but I don't know. It's I don't feel a sense of pride. It's like, oh, I have a PS4, I could play Spider-Man. Like, it's a console at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
No disrespect, but full disrespect, kind of. Like, laughs and hidden. if you feel an overwhelming sense of pride that you own a video game console, you need to go outside and go talk to people. Like, you need to go do anything other than that, because it's a console. It's a piece of plastic with computer components on the inside
and a logo on it. Yeah,
and a logo.
Yeah, like
it's not gonna do anything for you. It's just a console.
Yeah, no,
So,
I mean, fuck it, bro. If you want to say it, I'll say it. Look, you PS fanboys, some of y'all fucking wild. Some of y'all Xbox fanboys, some of y'all fucking wild.
like,
Wild.
I'm gonna sell my console.
Yeah.
If like Days Gone goes to PC, it's like, okay, I don't care. No one cares. Goodbye.
Some of y'all wild. You know, to me,
It's-
like, look, I love PlayStation, and I always buy PlayStation hardware because it's just what I have always preferred. That's simply it. You know, I'm not saying that, like, you know, there's no good games on Xbox. I know there are good games on the other side, right? It's just I just prefer PlayStation, and I just like the games they put out, and I like the software. I just like the PlayStation experience, if you will. You know, that's it.
Yeah, no, it's what like I talked about earlier. It's got to be it's a based on preference. Like, I don't know. There are some rabid fanboys out there that do or die. Like, if this game goes on PC, I'm going to break shit in my room. It's like, okay, you need to go to a therapist. Like, it's like, if they put Bloodborne on PC, I'm gonna sell my console, or I'm gonna break it or run it over or whatever. It's like,
Yeah,
you know that money you could spend on a new console, maybe you should spend it on some therapy, gamer. Like, you need to talk to someone, because that's not healthy. It's not normal.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Like,
You know, we had a great conversation here. You know, I feel like we haven't had like a Bethesda conversation of this whole caliber, right? So I think I want to end off with you. What do you think the future of Bethesda games are on PlayStation? Like, bottom line, you read what Phil Spencer said. What do you think is the most likely outcome out of all of this? You know what I'm saying?
most likely is probably just going to be a degree of exclusivity like we've seen with other Microsoft properties, such as Halo. Like, Xbox and Game Pass. If you don't like it, it sucks to be you. What I would like to see, however, the best case scenario of what I would like to see is timed exclusivity.
Okay.
So they make a majority of the sales for people that don't feel like waiting, or the people that already own their console. Like Dead Rising. Dead Rising was a timed exclusive, or Dead Rising 3 was a timed exclusive. So allowing the majority of the sales to be done on your console, and then about a year later releasing it on every other console. And by every other console, I mean the PlayStation, because the Switch can't handle much. I've been bagging on the Switch all episode.
Yeah,
Honestly,
man. Like, what the fuck does Switch do with you? Yo, I'm like looking at mine over here. You know, it's chilling. You know, he's he's catching the vibes. You know.
I don't know, but I don't fuck with the Switch very much. But other than that, like, timed exclusivity, having them be on the console for about a year, 2 years, whatever, and then at a point releasing them on PlayStation consoles. It's like, hey, we already, like, the people that couldn't wait, like, again, the Spider-Man example. If you told me that Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man game, the only Spider-Man game, was going to be an Xbox exclusive, only Xbox, like no PC in this hypothetical, I would absolutely buy an Xbox to play Spider-Man. And you get the people that can't wait, or the Final Fantasy fans that bought a whole ass console to play FF7R.
Which, for the record, is completely worth it. Just
Yeah,
say
no.
that. Just don't know.
I would have done it. So you get the people that can't wait or the people that are already on your console, and the majority of the sales come from that. And then about a year later, you still rake in a good chunk of change based on the console, like the other guys, like PC and Xbox, or or PlayStation. I think that would be the best case scenario for everybody. You get as much money as you possibly can. You get people on your side. They wait a year. You either wait a year or you buy it now. It's your choice, fundamentally. So I would think that would be the best case scenario. But again, like, they could very well just say fuck off, because we know Sony wouldn't do it for them. It's like doing a kindness for someone who would take it for granted.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's what I would like to see, but
I see.
We'll have to discuss it as more developments happen.
Yeah, for sure. And we're definitely gonna follow this because like I just want to know, like, I think there's still a statement to be made, and like some are running away with this, saying that like this is the statement to what they're gonna do with the future. But I think there's gonna be one more definitive one in the future, right? I think bottom line where I'm at is that I'm stuck between two different outcomes now. Okay. Honestly, I could, and you know what? I'm probably not that stuck. I think what's honestly a little bit more probably going to be the case based off of this quote is that I think what's maybe like a little bit more likely is that just all Bethesda games are just going to be exclusive to Xbox and wherever Game Pass exists, quote unquote, right? Like, I think that is probably more likely than ever after this quote, right? However, I'm not gonna drop the other outcome, which I think obviously bias sake I would like to happen, right? I don't think that's it's pretty obvious. Yeah, I would like to play Wolfenstein 3 and Doom 3 on my PlayStation, right? That's pretty obvious. But aside from me wanting this outcome a little bit more, I think that there is a somewhat equal chance that we could see just long-standing franchises that have released in the past on PlayStation, right? Those being the Doom, Wolfenstein, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, etc. Right now, that's a lot of titles. Maybe they pick a few of them. Maybe they don't pick all of them. Right? Maybe they pick just the top of those. Right? And they still release them on PlayStation day and date at the same time. They use the strategy to make sure that hey, if you're playing it on PlayStation, you can play it cheap with Game Pass on the Xbox platform, right? But in that same model, I think that any new IP that comes out of Bethesda will be Game Pass exclusive, period. Which I think there you get the money from existing known franchises, and you also hopefully get a lot of people drawing eyes to your platform for the new games if they are good, which is the bottom line I think that they need to nail here as well, is that like the quality has to be up on these games, period. Because I mean, like it still kind of befuddles me that the Xbox launch, right, other than Halo Infinite, what is another big game that's coming to Xbox that we know of from first party?
So here's a list.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, that's the end of the list.
Wait, what? Oh my god, I fucking missed it. What happened?
That was the joke.
Ah, damn. Like, yeah, there's a Perfect Dark remake. Cool.
Yeah, but I know those games are way out.
That's what I'm saying. Is like there's so much shit that is far the fuck away. Like, other than Halo Infinite, what the fuck is coming out this holiday besides Halo Infinite?
Nothing.
Is that it?
Literally nothing.
And I'm not saying that there's nothing. What I'm saying is that, like,
that's what I'm saying.
Big heavy hitters, okay? in the year one of PS5 alone, we're going to, for sure, we have gotten Miles Morales, we've gotten Sackboy, we're going to get Ratchet and Clank, we're going to get Returnal, and hopefully we get Horizon. Okay?
And not to mention
that's just what
Souls.
Oh my god, Demon Souls was already out. Like, there are so many games on PS5 that are fucking high quality, that get headlines, that get attention, are coming out in the first year. Besides Halo Infinite, what the fuck else is there?
I have been paying attention, and there's a whole lot of not fucking much.
Like that's what frustrates me, is that, like, I know I was kind of like doing an outro, but like that's what kind of frustrates me, is that like they made the Ninja Theory, right? Like,
Yeah.
they bought that studio and another studio as well that I forgot off the top of my head. And I know Ninja Theory is working on help me out. Fuck, what's that game called? Oh my god, I can see it in my head. Hellblade 2.
Yeah, no, I
right?
wouldn't have been able to remember that.
Yeah, like Hellblade 2, they're coming out, but like we haven't seen that game in I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? And if they're seemingly already having problems aligning their first party for a fucking console launch, and they couldn't put that together, right? And now they added 8 or so more studios to their fucking portfolio, adding more work, more management, more ways to coordinate that, and they haven't proved really that they can coordinate their fucking studios already. Like, it's gonna be, I'm intrigued to see how this all plays out. I'm very intrigued, you know? Like, ArachKnight, I don't sleep at night worrying about the PlayStation first party output. Like it's proven. We're getting God of War, we're getting Horizon, we're getting Spider-Man, you know? We're getting whatever the fuck masterpiece Naughty Dog comes out later on in the future. Like, we know these things, you know?
Yeah. But
what do we know on Xbox side? Like,
Halo Infinite is looking like a whole lot of ass.
that shit better be good, bro.
It's not gonna be.
That shit but what's frustrating right now is like it fucking has to be.
It's
right?
Isn't it like the most expensive game ever?
Dude, probably. And yo, it's the 20th anniversary of Halo, and it got pushed a year and a half out last summer.
Maybe it's just the little pessimist in me. That game's gonna be fucking trash,
dude. Bro,
I already know. I can feel it in my bones. It's gonna be garbage. We remember Craig.
My fucking Crackdown 3?
No, the brute in Halo Infinite.
Craig. I thought you said Cracked.
No.
Yeah, Craig. Yeah,
Crackdown 3 was bad too.
That shit gonna be interesting. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just dude, I like good games. You may disagree, right? Because, like, you know, you be having, you know, thoughts about my gaming tendencies, but I like good games, right? Like, if there were the likes of like God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon, etc., if there were that caliber of games on Xbox, do you really think I would wait this long to get an Xbox, or to even like make an attempt to get Game Pass?
It's you do like some good games, right?
Jesus Christ, here we go.
So I don't know. If there were games up to your average, then maybe I could see it. But even they can't even reach that bar.
Assassin's Creed is good. Fuck off.
Assassin's Creed's fucking garbage. Dude, I'm telling you right now.
So,
if I had the power to mulch and erase Thanos Snap every Assassin's Creed game,
don't do
past
this.
and future, For even
don't
a
do this.
10-minute demo of the next Spider-Man game, I would do it.
Dude,
I would do it. I would erase everything you love for my own game.
oh man.
Dude, a Daredevil game, I would for a 30-second teaser, I would get rid of every Assassin's Creed game to ever exist.
Now, wait a minute. If we get like a Miles Morales size type game in the Spider-Man universe called Daredevil, and I have to give up Assassin's Creed, we could perhaps talk about that. You know?
Oh, dude, I don't care. I would throw hands with anybody. I would get, like, I don't care if it's the lowliest grandma, a preschooler, or Mike Tyson himself. Meet me in the ring.
Jesus Christ.
For a Daredevil game.
I got you for 3 minutes.
3 minutes of playtime.
3 minutes of playtime. Alright. That was a great conversation about Bethesda. Thoroughly enjoyed it on this fine Saturday morning. ArachKnight, where can people find you?
I am on the PlayStation Source Discord under the same name. Link in the description for that. I am on Twitter at Orly_Macias. If you like game screenshots, or comic books and things of that nature, that's where you can find me.
You'll love to see it. Of course, you just listened to Save Slot Podcast Episode 8, the weekly news show about any and all things PS5, PlayStation games, and PlayStation itself. You can catch the show here on youtube.com/PlayStation Source, as well as podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, via our damn, I cannot talk right now. What the fuck? Via our Anchor link in the description. Like the video and or rate the podcast to help us get seen by more viewers so we can grow the PSS family. Down below, of course, you can let us know what you like or dislike about the show and connect with us further on Twitter and Discord in the description. Feeling generous? Feel free to hit that join button, become a member of the channel with that $1 Prince tier, $5 King tier, and of course, stream series going on as well. This week, we're playing some MGS3. Excited to get into that. We're going to finish off Ratchet and Clank 2016 on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we're starting another Insomniac series, Resistance. Very excited for this one. Very, very excited for Resistance to see where the Resistance franchise was left off, overall. So very excited to see where that comes. And thank you all for watching. And as always, greatness awaits.
Greatness awaits.
Later, guys.